You're listening to iLive Radio.
What's up, everybody? This is Indie Soulstress Gwen Yvette on iLive Radio, the station that supports independent artists and their music.
This is Felicia Temple, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your number one source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive UK want to hear from you. You can get in touch by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message, text only, to 07564 265 257. You can watch us live on Twitch and Mixcloud, and whenever you miss a show, you can listen back via our podcast page at ilivek.com. Don't forget to download our iLive Radio Network app from the Google Store and take us on the road with you. It's iLive UK across all platforms, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Oh yeah, it's Aaron Jaunty, and you're in the right place right now. You're listening to Skillit World on iLive UK. That's ilivek.com. Oh yeah.
Warish grenade launch into caution your front door. It's a door for this. Opposite of gorgeous. Set up a direct debit, credit your florist. That was for the service, the mornings. No need for church to research the birth of this orphan, to nerve of this flaunting. Audio tape, 7 days, many ways, prep for the haunting, the custom, the boss subordinates, giving orders. Of course, it is normal for Jaws to force on employers, a warning, whatever you call him. Movement is forward with Star Wars forces. True sorcerer pushing through borders with few swords in the chorus, a few horses and corrupt ruby horsemen. I just sighed for the first line. Joy's awesome, spit real for the paupers, middle class afforders, and the black girl rock award-winning daughters. Don't believe all the stories they brought you. Brothers lying front and not ready warriors. Spit briefcases, minus the lawyers. Yeah, they're funny boy, Jennifer Saunders. Action man sitting on my storage, I'm a monster. Tall French wedge past enormous proportions. Torture like it's 9-3 and I'm Raekwon talking to left about death and left corpses. You think the flies were holding a corpus? Voting for me cause I'm as raw as Jigsaw. Used to be the in thing like Deodorant. Now you follow my flow, I'm trending and flawless. Tell me who's the best, I abort them. If not they taught me. Jaunty, on free, you'll just applaud this. For the TDK just record this. Yeah, K-Nite, yeah he's really warish. Jaunty, yeah he's really warish. The quarantine, yeah, just rush.
Oh, memories don't live like people do. Welcome to a brand new episode of Skillit World. It's episode 15. Right now you listen to the sounds of Jaunty, who is my guest today. And he's in the studio. Thank you so much. It's so good to be here, bro. Man, that one was called Battle Axe by yourself, produced by my brother K-Nite13. I mean, come on, man. Round of applause for that one.
Oh, come on, man. K-Nite13 is just the quadruple quintessential threat, boy.
You know what's funny, man? That's one of my favorite songs of yours, Battle Axe. And in a funny way, it was kind of like your debut song.
It absolutely is, bro. Yeah. Like, that, I even remember that day when I recorded it. I recorded it at Capital B Show. Shout out to Capital.
Shout out to Capital B, man.
I was so, like, run down, the flu, the crazy cold or whatever. And Kay was going to turn in drawing board, I think probably for, like, mixing and mastering or whatever he needed to do. And, like, the deadline was, like, probably, like, that evening. Right. And I was like, nah, please, like, let me get on the tape. And he was like, look, like, I'm going to turn it in, so do what you can. And I did that. And then that
the whole trajectory was just different from then, because that was literally, maybe if I didn't make it that day, it's just a different story entirely, bro, for the whole career. You know what I'm saying? So big up K-Nite, big up Capital B for that, because that was an opportunity, really.
That was the birth of Jaunty. I mean, that was one of the standouts of the Drawing Board album. If you haven't heard that, listen to K-Nite13's Bandcamp Drawing Board when his first, I think his second, I think that was his first
That's
solo.
his first debut, but he had the prelude as well.
Yeah, the prelude before.
You know what I mean? There's, I guess, a bit, from his point of view, it's more of a compilation, but
yeah, so that was his second,
it wasn't his first outing.
There's an album with all of his beats produced, and rappers will be rapping over him. And yours,
and what a list, bro! If you think about that album, you was on it.
My Skillit,
Scorsese was on that.
Scorsese, Big Cakes, Tony D, Locksmith, Tuberculosis, Pyro Bars.
It's just
Loudmouth Melvin, Mentalist. He has Zeus Rock on there.
Zeus Rock, yeah, because I felt like it was me and him sort of thing, as like the new guns sort of thing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And like, I remember he was getting a lot of love as well. So like, it was such a dope way for like everyone to shine on it. It wasn't like, okay, so these are the tracks and these are the dead tunes. It was like, there was like room for me to like display. Do you know what I mean?
And I will be, I won't forgive myself if I don't mention Black the Ripper was also on that album.
Of course.
Memories don't live like people do. Welcome to a brand new episode of Skillit's World. It's episode 15. Right now you listen to the sounds of Jaunty, who is my guest today. And he's in the studio.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here, bro.
Man, that one was called Battle Axe by yourself, produced by my brother K-Nite13. I mean, come on, man. Round of applause for that one.
Oh, come on, man. K-Nite13 is just the quadruple quintessential threat, boy.
You know what's funny, man? That's one of my favorite songs of yours, Battle Axe. And in a funny way, it was kind of like your debut song.
It absolutely is, bro. Yeah. Like, that, I even remember that day when I recorded it, I recorded it at Capital B show. Shout out to Capital.
Shout out to Capital B, man.
I was so like run down, the flu, the crazy cold or whatever. And K was gonna turn in drawing board, I think probably for like mixing the mastering or whatever you needed to do. And like the deadline was like probably like that evening. Right. And I was like, nah, please, like let me get on the tape. And he was like, look, like I'm gonna turn it in, so do what you can. And I did that, and then the whole trajectory was just different from then, because that was literally, maybe if I didn't make it that day, it's just a different story entirely, bro, for the whole career. You know what I'm saying? So big up K-Nite, big up Capital B for that, because that was an opportunity, really.
That was the birth of Jaunty. I mean, that was one of the standouts of the Drawing Board album. If you haven't heard that, listen to K-Nite13's Bandcamp Drawing Board when his first, I think his second, I think that was his first
That's
solo.
His first debut, but he had the prelude as well.
Yeah, the prelude before.
You know what I mean? There's, I guess, a bit, from his point of view, it's more of a compilation, but
yeah, so that was his second,
it wasn't his first outing.
There's an album with all of his beats produced, and rappers will be rapping over him. And yours,
and what a list, bro! If you think about that album, you was on it.
My Skillit,
Scorsese was on that.
Scorsese, Big Cakes, Tony D, Locksmith, Tuberculosis, Pyro Bars.
It's just
Loudmouth Melvin, Mentalist. He has Zeus Rock on there.
Zeus Rock, yeah, because I felt like it was me and him sort of thing, as like the new guns sort of thing. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And like, I remember he was getting a lot of love as well. So like, it was such a dope way for like everyone to shine on it. It wasn't like, okay, so these are the tracks and these are the dead tunes. It was like, there was like room for me to like display. Do you know what I mean?
And I will be, I won't forgive myself if I don't mention Black the Ripper was also on that album.
Of course.
Rest in peace. The late great.
Yeah,
Black the Ripper. Him and K-Nite had a really great chemistry together. But let's talk about you and your chemistry with K-Nite, because we're going to celebrate 10 years of your album, Once Again, One Day.
Yeah, still.
Am I saying that right? Because I keep saying that album wrong.
Yeah, it's not Skillit no color. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you the whole title, but basically, yeah, like that dropped 2012 March, and yeah, it's funny how time flies, man. Like, because I kind of feel like that was just yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah. Same here, me too. I remember all of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember the launch. I remember everything. I remember you making it. We'll talk about behind the scenes of you making that album and what the concept behind it and why you came to make that album. But let's talk a little bit about yourself first before we get into all your work. Who is Aaron Jaunty? Where do you hail from? What's your background? Talk to let the people know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because I was with you, man, so much. A lot of people probably think that I'm from East, but I was born and raised in West London. What can I say? My parents are Grenadian born. I'm first generation British, if you want to call it that. And I'm just a guy who, I love music, I love tech. Our era of people is, certain level of tech and certain things that we had means that like our experience of music means that we're still attached to things like vinyl and CDs and things like that, even though obviously convenience means that we gravitate towards streaming and things like that because it's just easier for us. But I think that I say that because our appreciation for like things like the album format is different. So I think when it comes time for us to make music, we're thinking about that. We're thinking about a project, a theme. We're thinking about what we saw when we were like buying albums. Imagine you bought a Ghostface album and the artwork is nuts. You're seeing them. What's going on in the photography? Let me open up the book. So that song was recorded there. That seems to be their spot. There's a particular engineer that they use and they a similar sound to my man is sounding like that and like that as well, and all those type of things, innit? So when it's now time for you to make music, like when I think about you and your campaigns, bro, they're not just like fling out a tune. Bro, it's serious.
Thank
it's
you,
like you're doing TV series campaign, bro.
Thank you so
everything
much.
To the dotted I and the T and across T, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the type of thing that I think that we consider, and a lot of us fake it till we make it. So until other people are putting out the budget, it's budget coming from us. So everything, all the choices and the decisions, they come down to us. So that gives us our own individuality. Now you're not seeing just another carbon copy of what you've seen before. Everyone's putting in their own individualism into it. So I think that's the reason why like our scene and how we've come out is like so, how it impacted people so much, because it was just really something different than what else was happening, and it was a fruitful time. Do you know what I'm saying? So
when I first met you, you were a student of Brunel University.
Yeah.
That's when I first met you. I think it was your first year at Brunel. Was it your first year?
First year, and they had the talent show. That's when I met you, bro.
I met you. You had the talent show, and I saw you on stage, and you were performing these songs on the Knife Wonder beats, and I felt like I was the only one in the room that knew these songs. And I was like, yo, this guy knows my stuff. And we just clicked, and we got on so well, and we became family quite immediately, which is a small group of us. It was myself, you, big up Marcel, big up Jay, big up Nate Jones.
Yeah,
big
of course, C's.
Big up Caesar, who's the one that introduced all of us.
He brought you through,
yeah, because I went to secondary school with my man Caesar, and he's the one that brought me through to the university. And we all became a close-knit brotherhood, and we're still brothers till this day. But I knew with you, I could relate with you on the, not just in a friendship level with banter and living life as young men and young black men, but I could relate to you with music. And I felt like you were destined to be a musician, bro. I feel like from young, you just had a creative brain. You think differently, and I'm glad that you went on to the cause to make some music. So can I indulge in some of your stuff? We'll talk more about you, of course.
Yeah. Let me just say one thing.
Yeah, of course
quickly,
you can.
Bro.
Yeah.
You see that day at that talent show?
Mm-hmm.
That was the day that I said to myself, all right, it hasn't happened so far, so man, I should just hang it up.
For real?
Yeah. And then you saw me and said, nah, we need to make a tune.
Okay. I did not know that.
That was it, bro. That was it. That was gonna be big up, you have to big up yourself, bro. Honestly, we'll get into it a bit later, but there was like I had quite a history with like trying to do other things, and they just didn't really work, because obviously everything happens for a reason. So that I was meant to see you at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate you saying that.
Bro.
I had no idea, man. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get into this song. This one's called Iki Masho. Let's go. And we'll talk about this song, and we'll talk about the project album, the origins about it, and we'll go deep into this album. We're going to dissect it today, and we'll talk about all your other creative projects that you made since. This one's called Iki Masho.
Let's go.
I come stomping like Voltron, Megazord, Apocalypse, Optimus Prime, that is Techno Man. Just trying to leave my footprint like some yellow sand. Footprint in your mind, cause it's about that time. You got to know the name, no, Destiny's Child, this Destiny's mine, and the sun don't sleep. I'm inspired by heat, I spit sick every time I watch my temperature rise. Kane asked me to rhyme, I kindly obliged him. Brother from another, otherwise we are liking. Shiny, we are liking. Spitting crown diamonds, jewels, gems, repping loose threads. French rep stronger than the ruthless, cause the bond's dope though, stronger than the rope hole. From a loose bed, intricate with the flow. Intimate with your soul, just so my name rings off from a news desk. You're asking who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Yeah, well let's go. Yeah, we start the flow in, let's get it moving. We warming up. Yeah, well let's go. Icky my show. We start the flow in. Yeah, Icky my show. Let's get it moving. Yeah, Icky my show. We warming up. Icky my show. Yeah, well let's go. Icky my show. So you heard me on Batalax. Yeah, the flow was so sky flying, so awesome. Didn't think it is, or think this rawness was war. It's like Delta, what I spit is important. I'm kicking more shit till my legs are exhausted. Hips like support, I can only resort to music I can restore. Literaries galore, nice with the rhyme. Pleasant streets for sure, just so my haunted thoughts can stay lawless. I'm fortunate, blessed, authored by Chuck Norris. I'll force a war with your set. Go to the mall with your ex. Skillet cohorts, but I'll sort her, slaughter her neck. Then plan a tour with her legs, build rapport with her chest. Not talking about boy when I'm talking about Ness. More law and rap orgies with Porgy and Bess. Yes, well let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, well let's go. Yeah, we start the flowing, let's get it moving. We warming up. Yeah, well let's go. Icky my show. We start the flowing. Yeah, Icky my show. Let's get it moving. Yeah, Icky my show. We warming up. Icky my show. Yeah, well let's go. Listen, Icky my show. The way I corner the mic, the flauntings defined in the field dance floor full of gorgeous whores. I'm the dyke. Done it before like big love, make your daughter my bride. So you can call me naughty but nice, or raunchy, jaunty to be more precise. The storm to the pink porch of your wife, then tell you all that's the life. You're with the dawn of the lights, still couldn't see me. Something like Stevie, couldn't claim current rapper status without a line so CD. The difference is I did it discreetly, cause easily I'm knees deep. I'm a fiend for the free speech, no holds open as ODBs preach. I'm trying to stand out with my hand out, free release, so please breathe in this EP. Yeah, well let's go. Yeah, we start the flowing, let's get it moving. We warming up. Yeah, well let's go. Icky my show. We start the flowing. Yeah,
Icky my show.
Let's get it moving.
Icky my show.
We warming up. Icky my show. Yeah, well let's go. Icky my show.
Man, your chemistry with K-Nite, man. I mean, come on, man.
Listen, even that talent show, when I met you, you had a tape and you were playing his beats, and I never met anyone like who produced in hip hop like that wasn't like a big name or whatever. I never knew, like, you just came and you're like, oh yeah, my brother makes beats, and I was like, but specifically I remember his snare was different, and I was like, I need more, I need to, do you know what I mean? And bro, I mean, it makes sense. Like, see everything that you guys have bred from quarantine and from, like, you know, from how you guys have been making music for like years and years and years, bro. You know, it's not just a coincidental thing of a man with beats. It's like a prodigy sort of thing, like maestros and that. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just so grateful that I just was just in the same room at the same time.
Appreciate you saying that, man. No, it was good times, man. And like, you know, you were a member of, you shouted out Loose Threads in there. You were a member of the Loose Threads, which was myself, K-Nite, yourself, DJ Lucky Styles. And you know, it's a shame we didn't do a project together, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen.
Yeah, for you know what,
it's never too late.
I think even like I'm glad that like we got to make the amount of music that we did. But I think we just used to hang out a lot. So like we never really felt, there was no pressure of like, oh, like the world's gonna end tomorrow, so we need to da 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 da. So we just did what we did, and it was cool. But yeah, like I think if we look back, we'll look at everything that we've done, and you know, we got time to make more, so we should do, to be honest. But yeah, man.
What's some of your earliest memories of becoming a musician? We're going to talk about Once Again One Day, which is your first solo album, all entirely produced by K-Nite13. But what's some of your first earliest memories of rap? Because obviously you were spitting before I met you. So talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, growing up in the musical. Like, how did you become musical? Who's your influences growing up? And then we'll talk about this album.
Yeah. So I do think about this often because I'm like, oh, is this like a memory that I have, or is it like something that I forced and that I've just regurgitated? But like when I think of like my first memories, I think they highlight my tastes going forward. So like I remember like Top of the Pops days, like De La Soul, Me, Myself and I, Heavy D, Now That We Found Love, and CeCe Peniston. Those are the three that I feel like my earliest memories. So when I think about like us, especially like living in the UK, living in London, it's like very much we're black, we're West Indian, but we've got like heavy American influence. You know, we love our dance music. London especially loves their subgenres. So like then from that, obviously we're watching a lot of like The Box and things like that. We watch, like I remember seeing Wu-Tang videos at 7 and being like, what is this? My head being blown, bro. Like Ghostface Killer coming with the like the fencing mask and all of that. I was just like, I was 7 years old, but I'm like, nah, whatever this is me. You know what I mean? Even before I could really have the choice to buy records and stuff like that. And then like for us in the UK, especially, I think I've got an older brother as well, so what he chose to listen to also heavily influenced me as well. And he became a garage DJ. And I feel like there was a time where I was just like listening to nothing but garage. Like I've spoken with my brother in case we talk about this a few times. Like there's an era, there's like a block where unless it was like heavily commercial, we weren't really checking for anything outside of garage. And then I became a garage MC. So like we used to run around Little Crew, couple of MCs, MC Sulky, Fosty, shout out to them, Sinister Squad. We tried to do our thing. I think ultimately we just didn't grab a DJ, so we couldn't really go and like get a radio show and do certain things. So we just used to just move around and clash crews and just like, you know, just have fun, just like make tapes and stuff like that. But nothing really transpired from it. But, you know, man just had the arsenal of lyrics, and I was thinking, okay, well, one day I'm going to get to do something with this. Every so often there'll be like a party, there might be like a rave or whatever, just go grab the mic and do a thing or whatever. But then, yeah, like got to uni, and then I was just a bit like, I feel like I'm a talented person. I feel like I can do this, but it just hasn't worked. And, you know, like I see the X Factor dream and the pop stars or whatever, the people who queue up, they're the 400th person, they come in, they say they get told no, even though they're big in the game, you know, for whatever reason, maybe they don't have the right hairstyle or whatever. So I just thought that was me. I just thought, okay, well, it's just not going to be that way for me, innit? So I was just going to crack on. But like I said, I bumped into you, and it just changed everything. Especially not just you saying we need to make a tune, but me having the opportunity of seeing like how you guys were doing it. You guys were like putting in the work, you know, serious artwork, you know what I mean? You were getting heralded for your bars as well. That was very key for me to see that you didn't have to, because that's one thing that I saw in garage, for instance, that it's good that we have that because it's given it the longevity. We can, you know, it's made it stamp footprint wise. But when I think about garage, when I think about like listening to radio sets and stuff, when I think about a lot of the MCs that I used to listen to, like some of my favorite MCs, they're not necessarily the most well-known ones. Like, yeah, of course. You know, I'm like a Romeo. Like he for me was someone who, he was saying stuff that was very different compared to other guys. Like he was saying like, you know, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the darkest of them all? That's a big question. What does it lead to? And investigate. Like he was saying things in a way that we look back now and we're like, oh yeah, that was cool. But at the time, he was really, no one was doing that. Yeah, he was rapping early. Over, you know what I mean? It's original. Yeah. Guys like him, like Ragga D, like Hyperactive, like these are guys for me that are like, I just CKP is a big inspiration for me. People who like, they just hold the mic, they command the crowd. And you know, obviously over time we saw the evolution of bars, innit? Do you know what I mean? We saw things go towards like grime and things where it got way more technical, way more metaphors and everything layered, and like more musical as well at times, isn't it? You know, I just see it as like, that is our version of like hip hop, in a sense where hip hop maybe started from like a disco, jazz, soul, techno, DJs cutting it up, looping it up, a man get a mic up, make, you know, go to a party, chat the thing, and then all of a sudden you got Rakim come true and he's doing things that no one else has done. Then you got a Jay-Z, you got a Nas, and you know what I mean? It evolved. And I see that same thing with us. We had like, you know, we had jungle era, acid house and stuff. We had garage. Things were a bit like the UK hip hop people would say, yeah, like that was very basic. Like, nah, bun them. Why are they getting appeal? Why are they getting, you know, they had their time. Everyone has their time in it. Yeah, but why do they have their time on Top of the Pops? Allow it. They're making us look soft. And then now Grimes come true, and now you can't deny that. You know what I mean? And at the same time, UK hip hop has just been there, you know, like I said, a subgenre, just labeled as a subgenre, but really it's all music and spitting on top of it.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
At the basis of it is hip hop, innit? But it's just, again, the trajectory. It's come more from dance, from a garage and grime side, and the UK hip hop was kind of more just straight from the American side of hip hop, innit?
Yeah.
And then they just eventually kind of merged. You got like a Foreign Beggars and them man doing their thing, doing bits. That's like a gumbo thing. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if I answered your question. I just started talking about other stuff.
Well, I was just, you know, you're talking about your origins of music, and then, you know, some of the influences I guess you throw in there with what you've heard with the subgenres and the different types of genres. But when we get to you actually finally, okay, I'm going to put a project out. How did you figure out what the concept was going to be? And let's talk about that. What sparked it? It
kind of just did itself. It was its own thing. So
right, what you know, right?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've learned that, and I keep relearning that at such a late age that I just feel like that is when life is getting a bit lost, I think you just need to just return to your own source. That's the source of truth, bro. So like with me at that time, when I was thinking about the EP, actually, I just shouted K. I planned the trip to Japan. For me, my mindset was very much like I didn't go on very many holidays when I was younger. So I just thought that was something that other people did. And then once uni ended, like my friends would say, we're going here, come buy a ticket. And then I'm starting to see the world. I'm not necessarily going very far, but I'm like, oh, right, like I can do this. I just need to buy a train ticket or a plane ticket and I can get out of the country. It's actually very minor, but it was just something that wasn't part of what I did and what we did as a family. Like I'd only left the country like twice before by the age of 20. One of them was a school trip. So I looked at somewhere like Japan as like a fantasy. I thought like, I was always there was something alluring about like the neon lights and like, again, technology and things like that. And it being quite far away. And also the culture and everything, that I was a bit like, that's just going to be something that I'll dream about. I'll never go there. Just because I was small-minded at the time. I didn't know about travel. And then one day I just was like, look, I'm not going to get to go because I have to wait for someone to go with, because it was all the group holidays and stuff. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go. You know what I mean? And it was like a dream. I used to do night shifts, and like if I didn't get a proper night's sleep, I would wake up during the day groggy. And I remember I just woke up, I just got out of bed, and I don't even kind of remember how I did it, but I just ended up at Flight Centre. I just put the money down, and then I was like, okay, so I just bought these plane tickets, and then like, what now? Like, I don't even, where am I gonna stay? I don't know nothing about the language.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Why did I do this? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I just started learning Japanese now, because I thought that's what I'm going to need to do. I'm not going to be able to do anything without that. And then I just found it really...
But were you not learning Japanese before you landed in Japan?
Nah, I bought the tickets. I'm going. Okay. I need to buy a travel guides. I need to look up stuff on the internet. I need to know what happens when I get out of the train. I need to know simple greetings. I didn't know nothing. Do you know what I mean? It was just like me having access to my dreams, isn't it? And there's only, I do that more so nowadays. I understand my bucket list and I'm getting older, but in those days, I just was just churning out the rat race thing, and I was just waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. So then once I did that, I was like, at the same time, you know, I'm linking with you, man, and making music and that. And I shouted K, and I just said, look, K, just like fling me some beats and I'll listen to them while I'm out there. And he was just like, and I think he made a couple like on the spot as well. He was just like, I got this idea, just did it, like look, a 2-minute thing, like, which is still blows my mind again. But this is a pro. He's been doing this for a long time, and this is something that he's born to do. Do you know what I mean? That's why he finds it so easy as well. And when I say easy, I mean like in terms of translating a thought of like a creation of what he wants to hear. Do you know what I mean? Like that. We all might have that a sound like, oh, this will be wicked, but like the ability to then carry it out in practically, it's only certain people can do that. Yeah. So he's flung me the beats. I get on the plane, and then, you know, as you know, this is the 2011 March. This is the day of the earthquake nuclear fallout.
Yeah.
So that just, again, it just was a life-changing experience. It was just like all of a sudden I'm just thrown into this thing of like panic and concern, and what didn't help as well is like the area where it happened, where where the nuclear station was, is called Fukushima, and I was staying in the Fukushima in a different part of the country, but because it had the same name, I think everyone just got just bugged out about it. But then I was talking to a few people. I'm sure I talked to you about it. I specifically remember K-Nite saying, yeah, what's going on? You cool? Yeah, anyway, like when you get on the plane, hurry up and come out. Yeah. Like a lot of people were like, oh, you're mad, just come out, hurry up. And I just didn't really know what to do.
Yeah,
I was
you Skyped us, we were in Trinidad.
You were in Trinidad, right.
You Skyped, I think K-Nite was a bit more supportive than I was. I was a bit like, come out of there, brother, I want you to be home.
Yeah, no, listen, everyone was. But there was one person I spoke to, and she said, like, so you're not going to leave, are you? Like, you've been waiting to do this for a long time. You've kind of been waiting all your life to do this. Like, and you're there now. You know what I'm saying? And that just made me think. Like, I was staying in a hostel, and everyone was just flying in. They were coming into my area to fly in from the airport nearby. So all I'm seeing is people leaving. Like, we're leaving, we're going. Even there was a brother I met from Australia. He dinged his parents, and he was like, look, like, if you just want to jam in the area and kind of see what things are like and come back, you can come fly out to Australia with me, because it's a short flight. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I'm like, I'm mad not to accept this. Everyone's telling me to do something, but there was something that was pulling me to stay. And when I did, and I just changed my whole itinerary, I created an itinerary afterwards. Like, after I got a bit more confidence, I did some knowledge and that. And I just was able, I had flexibility to just change my plans, and I did that, and I stayed. And it was one of the most amazing things I've ever done in my life. Like,
love it.
I think the main thing I'll just quickly say is, like, being in an area where you would expect quite a lot of tourism and things like that, but now that's just vacant because everyone's bounced. So now all it is really is like me and the locals. And everywhere I went, and going into places that weren't so touristy, I'm just being met by locals who are literally greeting me, saying like, thank you for coming to see us and visit, thank you for staying, thank you just for being here. That's lovely. And I'm like, how are you thanking me? Like, I'm here on holiday, I'm here to try and have a good time, and you're grateful because of everything that was happening. So I just wrote to all of the K-Nite beats that he sent me, man. Like,
by the way, sorry to get back to what you just said. You know, those people never forget you. They will never forget you.
Yeah, I'll never forget them, bro. I'll never forget them. Do you know what I'm saying?
So when you were going through all of that, you're this crisis in Japan, you're helping out, you're trying to learn the language, and you're trying to enjoy your time while you're helping out with this crazy situation that they're all in. It's giving you the inspiration to write the K-Nite's beats that he's sent over to you, and you came up with this album, which is Once Again, One Day. I want to play and indulge about this next number, which is We Must Remain Friends. This is one of my favorite joints of this album. Probably argue it might be my favorite. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say
it might be mine too.
It's my favorite song of the album.
It might be mine too. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
Nah, it's all good, brother.
Yeah, it might be mine too. This one I wrote in the most beautiful settings, Japanese garden in Kyoto, and again the song wrote itself, man. And I was just basically trying to encapsulate what I was seeing, and I'm grateful to have seen it.
Well, so this one is called We Must Remain Friends. It features Bella Soul, does beautiful vocals on it, and Dan Donovan. I met Dan Donovan in Japan. Oh, you met him in Japan as well? That's amazing.
He was jamming with a guitar, and I said, when I got back, I said, me and you need to link up, and then
so Dan Donovan supplies the guitar in this, K-Nite produces it with the piano sample and all that, and then Bella Soul has some beautiful vocals over it, and obviously your beautiful lyrics.
Oh, thank you.
Your flow. That's one thing we're going to talk about when we get after this number, the different type of flows that you produce. But yeah, I really liked the originality of this song. This is a beautiful one of my favorite songs you've ever made. It's probably my favorite song you've ever made. This is called We Must Remain Friends. This is Aaron Jaunty.
You know, I only flew a few thousand miles for you. I know you never asked me to, but I'm here now. If you knew how long it took to find you, that's a good place to start, right? If you knew how long it took to find you. Eyes wide, shaded sky. It's so cold, it's so cold, it's so cold. Left or right was the right move. My poor rose pet, as the snow fell. I asked the clouds for my fortune, but they won't tell. I'm on the right road. I approach with the slow steps to find the gate closed. Only they know how this all felt. My shores again. My life won't be the same when we meet. A sight only for the brave men. The beauty Mason. I know the gates gladly greeted Jason. I'm gunning cause you're 100 more stunning in today's sun. Than a grey one, what you offer me peace. All for Gohyaku and his please. Serenity right here in these streets. Make me smile like I'm up a mile on the main street. It started with hello, goodbye soon. Hope the bad die slow, but the good die too. Made it through the winter for the warmth of high noon. The silence was nice, the quiet in your eyes once we melted the ice with the skies. But here's my cue to go. Will I be back? Don't do that, but you should know. The color green never seemed so beautiful. My shores again, my life won't be the same when we meet. A sight only for the brave men. The beauty you hold, I swear that time froze. Even though I know the day ends, but I know that we must remain friends. My shores again, my life won't be the same when we meet. A sight only for the brave men. The beauty you hold, I swear that time froze. Even though I know the day ends, but I know that we must remain friends. Wow, I can't believe I'm still here. But what could it take for me to leave you? Yeah, something like that. I'm so glad I'm with you. Yeah, you. Pretty and humble, huh? Don't worry about where else I could have been. You didn't have to be here either. You saw me, right? You know, the day before. Oh, that's funny, huh? Well, how did you know that I'd return? Okay. Why did I return? Well, I figure I should allow my heart a chance to feel the joy I've always prepared it for. But I feel like I've only just started truly living. Yeah, I know. You must. Let's all meet again. Natsikini no kolo Nihoni Odolita Once again One day We must remain. My shores again. My life will never be the same. Only for the brave men. My life will never be the same. Even though I know the day ends, my life will never be the same. We must remain friends. My life will never be the same. 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 And so I say, Can't wait to land in Nihon. Can't wait to land in Japan. Can't wait to land in Nihon. Yo, when I land, I'ma travel the land of Japan. I'm at the airport, pushing my luck, and why not? It's what excuses are there for. I'll just say it was there for, and therefore they better be careful. If I can't fly, or had better be fearful. Kinda late though. Head through the gates, a whole new world awaits. So I wonder what's my fate. Now my life's a game show, a joyous feeling of seeing your blind date. Until the phone call close my cake hole. I'm like Hanya in Rio, wiggle your bits. I'm not in the UK, know how expensive this is. When she delivered this, I was a victim begging for witnesses, cause I couldn't handle her sentences. 8.8 on the scales with the shades. Just wanted to know you're safe and okay. Viewing the news wake of our nature's rage. Parts of the world that rest on our wake with haze. Have you ever felt fear that made you throw rationale in the canal of a mile-long mob unaware?
Yeah, we're back.
All the panicking around you without who doomed to a time you couldn't bear.
Beautiful numbers on this album, man. I love this album. But
I have to say quickly, Bella Soul, shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Bella Soul, man.
When I was in Japan, when I first landed and I was stressed and I didn't know what to do, it was her SoundCloud that just kept me calm through the whole thing. I went through the whole thing and I was like obsessed, and I said, wow, when I come back if I make it back to London, me and her have to make a tune. And that's how we also did.
Well, I'm happy to know that she was on it, man. That was great.
Yeah.
Can we give a nice warm round of applause, welcome for my favourite co-host, my favourite co-host of all time, Dominique and Ems has showed up. How are you? Looking all fabulous as per usual.
I'll come as pork pie.
You come as pork pie. Cosplay.
And you're Mafri the African.
Wait, silly me. My new Japanese
listen, man, we've been talking about your discovery, this album, this great concept album that you've had, that you've put together with my brother K-Nite. During the process of making this, were you calm? Because there was still a lot of like danger that another earthquake could happen while you're writing this album. Did you write most of this album in Japan, or did
I wrote all of it in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow. I wrote all of it while I was there. I was there for a month, so I did have time. But I just had like certain moments where I just sat down and like, when the beat was ready saying something, it just, again, a lot of this stuff wrote itself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of the easiest processes I've had of writing in my entire life. And K's beats were so stupid, bro. It's easy.
Your brother's a ledge.
Yeah,
he
man.
is.
Honestly, I can't wait. I'll come when you do a show for him. I have to
100%.
come, even if I just stand in the corner.
We'll do birthday special for K-Nite if he likes it or not.
Yeah.
His birthday's on December, so we'll do something for him in December.
Ooh, we're doing that.
But I was stressed and everything, but this is one of the outlets. This was one of the things that helped me through the time. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm grateful that I had that, because if I didn't, then I don't know.
But this got a lot of people. You drew a lot of attention to yourself with this album. A lot of people started to know who you are. You just got loads of downloads in Bandcamp. You got some plays on Kiss FM with Shorty Blitz and MK. So while you were making that, it seems like things were kind of moving up for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, it's the debut, as you say, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Shout out to 279 as well. Like,
279 support you. Yeah. Shout out to
that's again, for me, I found out because this is a guy, like, I just used to grow up, like, as a teenager, as a young one, just bare TDKs, bare tapes in the deck to record the shows. And that's a brother that him, Jane Flame, Mac Farlow, just used to listen to them all the time, bro. Like, Mac used to say Garbage. If a brother was Garbage, he used to say Garbage. So because of him, I now say Sabotage to my wife. When I feel like she's doing something that's like, that's Sabotage, I say Sabotage because of him. So like, those are people that, like, especially Blitz, Big Ted, like, these are guys who they really shaped, like, they're tastemakers, isn't it? Let's be honest, they're tastemakers. So because of them, like, I have a certain level of understanding or taste or appreciation or knowledge. And if it wasn't for them, the people that were in these positions, when there wasn't really internet radio and Spotify and whatever, you had to wait for like a 1 hour, 2 hour show once a week, twice a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So those were important people for us.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
cultural curators.
Yeah. And then them man are playing my tunes.
Yeah.
Sharp.
What did that feel like? Did you fangirl?
I think for me, you're excited. You feel like your goosebumps are raised. Like, I can't describe it apart from that. Like, it's just.
I love that though. It's like a euphoria.
Yeah, it's. What other experiences is there like that? Like, Ryan, the first time that you must have heard your tune on radio.
Yeah, that was amazing. One of the moments I will never ever forget. Do you remember I did that show in Camden Lock? And
yes, of course.
And I just mashed up the set.
Yeah,
I stole the show.
I think Ori Styler was
hosting, and we had a little bit of a competition.
Yeah. I'll never forget that.
But I remember like the whole like. That was like my main event moment. I think that was the first time.
That's really interesting. That's how you feel.
Because since then, I started becoming more on festival lists. I was doing a lot more shows. I was getting booked a lot since that one show. And I think that was the first time I was like, I main evented this show. Like, everybody's here to see me. You know what I mean? And it was a great crowd. And I remember, like, it was even though it was a very intimate venue, but I remember like I couldn't sleep that night. Like, I honestly, it was afterwards. Like, I had like my heart was palpitating. I couldn't sleep. I was buzzing. Yeah. It was like a high. And I feel like this is what, obviously, it's in a very small scale to what a lot of major bands and.
No, I hear you. I feel the same way about that same venue.
This is what they must feel all the time.
Yeah,
when they're all doing these festivals, and it's crazy. Yeah. So yeah.
No, I feel you because I the Camden Lock show. That's one of my first performances, like, as a hip hop like rapper, and I remember I had to take off my jacket and I just had nothing but sweat all over my back, and I didn't care. It was one of those ones. It was like, you know, it's nerving, it's unnerving. It's like having the people, because you try and fill it up with your people, but then there's obviously just the random public, and then you're seeing their response. You're seeing like, oh, right, this is doing something outside of my bedroom, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Outside of the studio, this is actually like having an impact. It's like, okay, right, this is a bit of a cosign that I ought to continue doing this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So you dropped that, and then you were working on your second album, which is One Day Closer to Everything. Mm-hmm. That was a bit of a more of an experimental album, in my opinion. That wasn't you didn't stick to one producer and you didn't do a concept. This was a bit more. I guess it was some concepts in this album, but this was more of a free-flowing, different ideas, different producers. Yourself, you were producing on this album yourself.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I think like that came a few years later, and so I'd like dropped a few like EPs in between as well.
Oh yeah, you did the Summer Suits.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god, how did I forget the Summer Suits?
Do you know what? To be honest, my Summer Suits, right? So okay, so I've dropped Once Again One Day. Then I'm like, the buzz is there, sort of thing. And I'm like, right, I need to drop something immediately. I don't know. It stops, rather than that album being like organic, it now starts being a bit more like, right, I should do this. Let me hear what's out. You know, and I start thinking too much about this
is the problem we had. This is the problem that all of us had.
Sophomore jinx and stuff.
Me, Loud, K.
Tell me.
We just overthinking. Stop overthinking. I don't overthink anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like, I haven't even had the drive to put an album out. I'm just going to put singles out. But obviously there's songs there that I could put together as an album.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, but I'm not overthinking about it. Does that make any sense? And I think that's what we did.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I ask a question? How does that impact your creativity when you do that though?
Oh, it impacts it big time. You think a lot of rappers overthink? You think DMX was overthinking when he put out the
two albums in
1 year? He didn't overthink it, and it works.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne putting out mixtapes and just putting it out.
These are the greats.
Getting it out.
These are the greats. Even if the songs are not even finished, putting it out and we think it's finished. Does that make sense? It's it's just great music.
Like, we're always our worst critics.
We are
100%, man. Even like, I just finished recording a tune yesterday. I'm gonna give to you, and Dee said to me, my wife said, you're gonna play it to me. Shout out, that's my wife, man. That's my wife.
And
another one,
beautiful inside and out, man.
God did.
Beautiful inside and out,
and she makes pretty babies.
She does. The babies that she makes, I mean, we have one. So but the track record is 100% perfect at the moment. Yeah,
singular.
But like she said before I left, she said to me, "Are you gonna play me the tune?" I said, "Oh no, I'm not gonna play you the tune." You know, I thought, do you know what? I'm overthinking it again now. Like, even though I didn't when I made it, I was like, nah. If your face did a weird like whatever, I'm gonna delete it or something. And I said, you know what? I have to be able to, I'll cat Will Smith, and this is already where I got this from. And he talks about failing forward. Like, when I'm trying to do Perfectionist, then that's it. Nothing comes out. It stays in my head, and then I just think about it for years.
Who's our favorite producers, bro? Dilla and Madlib. Do you think anything they did was Perfectionist? Do you think they just put rough, unmixed, mastered songs out?
And these are loved masterpieces,
and we ate it up,
right?
So I don't know what we were thinking, but it doesn't matter. Don't look.
Every so often, you just have to kind of just nudge yourself and I think that's the reason why I didn't play it to her, because I said, you know what, if I can bring it to you and you just fling it, then it's just on. That's it. It's
one of my favorite summer suites that you put out. Because you had so many different mixes, you had different producers. It's the same song, but you had different producers doing different versions. So you had like Sam Zircon, who I've worked with.
Shout out to Sam Zircon.
Obviously, K-Nite did a mix. Jukebox did a mix. The Sam Zircon one, I'm going to play though.
Okay.
And you know it's gonna be legendary. Just look back at your summer's legacy. Never ever ventured out of your memory. Poking your candles, but like, hey boy, you remember me? In the heat, I used to run around empty till I ran out of breath and begged asthma to let me breathe. If you're going overseas, I got a tendency to smile for you, but then my trace surrounded by jealousy. Bring the stunners out of slumber, don't let them sleep, man. It's no wonder.
What is that? When I play that back to you, what is that? What memories is coming, man?
You know what?
I'm gonna sip of some Dominican water.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Tin Piece, the Mindset Coach,
Where's
and
the camera? Show the
Dominican
camera.
M's, Dominican water.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
You know what? This comes back to our conversation we're having now, right? Because there's the overthinking, and then there's do you know what? This beat is dope. Like, let's just do a thing on this beat.
Great beat.
And I think what I was doing with the Summer Suites, I was trying to buy time to work out what I was really doing, because I guess I felt a lot of pressure. I was like, okay, this next thing, if it's not good, then I'm forgotten about immediately. In fact, it's tarnishing what I've done. So it needs to be perfect. That's how I felt. It needs to be perfect.
That's a lot of pressure, Jaunty, man.
So then
you just have to learn how to have fun with it. That's what I did. I always have fun with my project.
I feel like I got there in the end, but then so I put out like 3 of these suites. I think I put one out each year. And then on the last year, that's when I felt like, do you know what, I'm confident to put out my next thing.
Yeah.
So when I hear this just reminds me of that time where I was just like, I think also like I was maybe like, there was a bit of like experimentation as well. There was like, all right, I'm feeling a bit more like I'm advancing as an MC as well. Like, I'd like to say everyone's got the confidence of like, yeah, I'm the best in the world or whatever, but like the top, there's nowhere to go from there, innit? Like, it's good to feel like, I just did a thing, and you can come back and continue doing that. You know what I mean? Especially like with us, if we're doing features, we're doing songs with each other. Yeah. Like, there's no fun if we're just doing the same thing. Like, we want to be able to spar and sharpen, you know what I mean, swords and that. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought. Like that was a time for me, like features and things like that. That was helping me. And then then after a while, then tried to put out the second EP. I did put it out, but tumultuous times.
Well, we're going to go to a commercial break in the next 7 to 8 minutes. I want to play one more song before we go to the break, but I want to give you your flowers, man. I need to thank you for something that you done for me in my career. You bigged up me and how I was influential for your career. I need to say something. One of the biggest songs that I've ever put out, you helped me shape the chorus of that song. I don't know if you remember this. So I remember I called you over to my house. I was living with my parents at the time.
Pick up mum and dad.
We love them.
And I
couldn't do it without you.
And I played you this beat that was produced by a producer called UK Stand Up. Shouts to UK Stand Up.
Okay, really?
And I said, yo, Jaunty, man, I got this tune, and I want to do the concept based off the Bob Marley tour guide. The guy who
this didn't have nothing to do with me, bro.
Yes, sure? Let me tell you something, yeah. And I was like, I'm thinking, now we're ready to lie. Pen, pad. No, I said, now we're ready to lie. And I don't know what to, and you were like, pen, pad, ready to write. And then from there, I knew where I was going.
Are you sure?
That's true.
Wow.
True stories.
No, but bro, we used to do that all the time, bro.
I know.
We used to do that all the time, innit? Come on.
I used to come to your house and freestyle all the time.
Just quickly,
sometimes we never talk. We just freestyle.
You know, like, don't you think it's awkward? And like, even chorus for Animal. They were your feet. One time I was with K-Nite and he was like, play me tunes, and then you came in and you just started barring something on a random, and I was like, oh, that's the chorus.
Okay, I appreciate that. But well, you know, the love is love, innit? You know what I mean? So thank you.
Nah, of course, man. Nah, you man just...
That song became a really good hit. Got me a lot of PRS money.
We like PRS money.
100.
Question, you probably covered it like before. How long have you guys been friends?
No, we didn't. Well, we said 2004.
Yeah, 2004.
2004. We met at Brunel University where Aaron was studying. And I was just there.
That's clever. You're smart.
So we all are, yeah, man.
And everybody thought I was university.
Yeah, listen.
To this day,
I was always welcome there.
Where did you go uni though?
Thames Valley.
Yeah, so his uni wasn't far. So, do you know what I mean?
I used to always go Brunel.
Uxbridge, because I used to go there for the raves, like Tim Westwood.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this next number is called Battle Axe Remix. This is when you reached out and you threw the back signal in the air and you're like, quarantine, I'm doing this album with K-Nite, a quarantine member, and I want the rest of the team on the record. And it was a remix of your original song.
Yeah,
we played
I'm so blessed that you, man, all came through to do that, you know.
This is a great song.
You're talented, man.
And I'm going to play this number. We'll go to a commercial break. We'll talk more Aaron Jaunty after the break.
Yo, H, what up? I'm back again. And this time I brought some friends. Icky my show. For the TDK just recorded. Until the tape part flames hot. Yeah, we tortured. Last time was perfect. Victory was flawless. Uppercut to the spike pit. For the floor hit. Nauseous. Jaunty. Got the groupies calling. Your girl's feeling my flow. We'll see just what you taught her. Introduce banger and mash. When you see me, you're dapping my hand, my man. Don't you think it's awkward?
Skillit. Battle raps, spout up the tap and damage tracks. Sat and relax, man in the back, the chat and whack. Woo. Handle my stack, stand and attack with battle axe. Yeah. Hungry for snacks, trust me, I'm fat, no anoraks. Hold on, listen, learn the position before I snap. Yeah. Code and written, control solar system to parallax. Right. Both your sisters and mother sisters are on my lap. Yeah. Bend it over, shave the choaches and ask to slap. I got the illest presence, these spitters are little peasants. I'm killing these niggas, dwelling and personally still a legend. Yeah. Verses that's in my melon are certainly flipping clever. I'm cursed to a sicker measure, worse than British weather. Flair if the bitch is treasure, but search for a missus never. Working to grip the cheddar was birthed in a different era. Purposely switching sever, dispersing these writtens, brother. Burst of verbs, I'm dirty, my shit is mega.
This is the remix version. Jaunty brought the team to murk it. Called me for the heat to burn it. Course, yeah, I go deeper serpents. We go in, normally won't leave the hermits. Plus we go in tight to blood. It's like we're beating virgins. The team's determined, it keeps us working. MCs are vermin, lyrically they can't see me. I ain't a people's person. I keep it dirty, bleeds and curses. Yeah, just clean detergent, sanitize. Have your wife on her knees and teeth got sperm.
But by with my new CD, so my block's nice. Top flight, ready to explode like a block pipe. Spotlight, hip hop poster boy like I got mice. Got Sprite, number 45 with some hot rice. Duck twice, then I'm coming hard with a rock right. Rough ride like DMX on BMX with enough white. Enough lines tighter than the grip of a lock vice. Top 5 if you're number 1 while you're cup tied.
A rapper raging will crack the pavement and slap your favorite. Smash your playlist, rap the greatest, what an accusation. On beats shit ready, but that makes me a black adjacent. Backwards rapper slack with hatred, smash a rapper, fracture faces. They don't bother me, minorities are blacks and Asians. A beast ready, you fall slow like sea confetti. You know my savage raps, swing like a battle axe. Bring all the average cats, king I'm down to handle that. Zing!
Nah, man. I mean, I'm an MC, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to write. Is it that time?
I pray the worst comes to me this time.
Yo, this ride is blocked like the water's down, flowing like a stream, but the pipe is clogged. Caused more stress than a man's wife divorced, and she took the house and the kids that your life was brought that she never earned. So this is robbery via the courts, traffic jam, all collision, everything going nowhere at the speed of light except the wind. Maybe it will whisper something for me to be. Bad predicament to explain. Let me begin. It's like I'm going blind. Can't see why I'm spending all this time on the line, and I can't cross it. The stripe
drive's constant. Million thoughts on my mind, but it's not helping what I am trying to accomplish. I can't piece them together, man, this is puzzling. How could I look at the box when it comes from within? Director, script writer, brother's grim. Surely it can't be this hard to score another win. When Ghost spoke, tell me never force a flow. So if it's not an auto, then it borrows my control of the ball of the pen rolls. Let it roll right out your soul, and when momentum takes its toll, I gotta break it down some more. Good advice, tone, but you know me, closer to the end, not even remotely. And I'm about to be short for the Midas touch. Lego, Duplo, size of the rider's block. Time has stopped, I can't push a pen to write. Holding me to ransom, I wanna cry. It's more than money that's on my mind, but I pray the words come to me. The words come to me. The words come to me this time. I pray the words come to me this time. It ain't just the rhymes that define all the lines. It's gotta stop, or I'll just find something else to do. Procrastination waiting for me, need a miracle. Watching American Idol recitals.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
What's up, everybody? This is Indie Soulstress, Gwen Yvette, on iLive Radio, the station that supports independent artists and their music.
This is Felicia Temple, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Are you looking for that feel-good music? The kind of music that makes you want to share with your friends? Then you've been looking for iLive Radio, your number one source for music lovers worldwide, playing a variety of hits from soul, reggae, gospel, jazz, hip-hop, funk, and everything in between. Download the iLive Radio app now and listen to us when you're on the go. Available on iTunes and the Google Play Store. You can also listen live on TuneIn and Alexa. iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive UK want to hear from you. You can get in touch by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message, text only, to 07564 265 257. You can watch us live on Twitch and Mixcloud, and whenever you miss a show, you can listen back via our podcast page at ilivek.com. Don't forget to download our iLive Radio Network app from the Google Store and take us on the road with you. It's iLive UK across all platforms, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Greetings and salutations. This is Chris Mitchell, aka Kinetic, aka the actual factual, representing Breaking Atoms.
Yo,
and you are now listening
I'm
to
like a
Skillit World on
I'm
iLive UK. It comes highly recommended, so please tune in and don't miss out. And if you do, it's your loss. Fix that.
With the masters who could hold it down even after disasters. We father this bar shit, hold it up like a harness. I'm known as such. Put the cobra clutch on you bastards. The coldest touch a difference from the insignificant without discipline. Empty people making empty music in this business. We need to break free and display our thoughts and wisdom before we leave a generation of fallen children. Thinking cars and clothes strengthen the ranks amongst men and dumb friends who bust gangs in the manner they're dumped in. I walk the streets with the feeling blessed to be alive, even though I know that every man is destined to die.
Do you think about what's wrong, what's right? It's a sign of the times. Why you chasing happiness when it's inside? It's a sign of the times. When you're ready to take a life, it's a sign of the times. But are you ready to live your life? It's a sign of the times.
How can I describe myself? To do that, I have to look inside myself. A birthplace or back to Africa, you know, my tribal self. A man who works hard to provide my wealth, obsessed with divine himself, and live my dreams out until my final self. My explosive motive is to try to help people that can't stand what's inside themselves, living in a kind of hell. I wake up the minds of the youth, but tell them not to fight each other, but to try to find some truth up inside the booth. Then try to divide and conquer the mind of youngers. I'm building inside a type of structure that incites a hunger to destroy one another. They poison our brothers to the point that they can't be held by the voice of their mothers. And nowadays freedom is a rare thing, cause rebels are lacking support, or trapped in the core, or trapped in the force. Brothers rather stack for a Porsche than to use the cash for those always lacking support.
Do you think about what's wrong, what's right? It's a sign of the times. Why you chasing happiness when it's inside? It's a sign of the times. When you're ready to take a life, it's a sign of the times. But are you ready to live your life? It's a sign of the times. I met a preacher, call him a teacher, trying to feature Allah in his greetings.
These days we'll talk about Jesus, but in a similar way. I knew we both were believers. What? I should take the way that he should live his life. I miss the strife, he must protect his kids and wife. Doesn't need to prove that the system's right. Long as they're raised to separate good from evil, then it's alright. Religion aside, I'm just trying to see the light. With my feeble side, just call me a decent guy. With the dreams of a peaceful time, before my lease expires. Some important things to do. The youth is not feeling the truth. Watching is cool, listen instrumental, let the strings sing to you. We fathered this bar shit from Mars, we part seeds with our speech. God is for the strings.
Do you want to know what's wrong, what's right?
It's a sign of the time.
So that was off the K-Nite album.
Yeah, that's According to Plan.
According to Plan.
Yeah, that's
man.
one of the favorite
K-Nite album.
Favorite songs that I've ever recorded. That one. Man,
the show's, you know, this highlights the chemistry between you and my brother K-Nite, man. Some great songs you had done together.
Yeah,
great
that's
songs.
A brother, man. I'm another.
And obviously you did your second album. Let's talk about your second album.
Yeah, so you played Writer's Block earlier.
Yes.
Tommy Wilson. Shout out to Tommy Wilson, man. That's a very, very good dude. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, big up Tommy Wilson.
You know what I mean?
Nice
we over the last few years we've bucked up again and just been talking live, and he's a really good guy, man. Very talented, very skilled, and like, you know, professionally wise as well. Like, he's been doing lots of stuff. He's done so much behind the scenes, like music merchandising wise and all that type of stuff. Like, there's a few things I can tell you, but he's responsible for a lot of like good looks for like black artists. Done a couple of things for Labyrinth, etc. So
okay,
yeah, man. Big him up, try him out.
Love it.
Try and get his story on the show maybe one day. Let's see if I can get that hooked up.
Yeah,
Jaunty,
surely,
because I don't know him like that. You did very different concepts on this album, the second album of yours, which is one day close to everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whew, I keep mixing up the titles of the albums, man. You know, Writer's Block. What? You know, that was the last song we played. Why did you call that Writer's Block?
Yeah, I had Writer's Block, bro.
Yeah.
He gave me the beat.
And you write about it, didn't you?
Yeah, like he gave me the beat, and I was like, "Oh, this beat is too fire. I need to do something with this." But at that time, I was being made redundant in my job, and that hadn't happened to me before. I know it's a common thing for some people, but I felt like I was quite young in my career. So at the time I was working in what we say TX, is broadcast transmission television.
Yeah.
So like, you know, everything that you see on your screen, making sure that the picture's still on there, all the technical stuff with the satellites, all that kind of stuff.
You're still in that industry now?
Nah, so I still work in television, but I'm on the OTT streaming side of things. So I work for all of the,
what does that mean?
Basically all of the apps that you watch content on. We call it over the top. So, you know, you don't have like something plugged in like a TV aerial. So like, for instance, like your Netflixes, Disney Pluses and stuff like that. Those are the, you know, I work for a company that owns a lot of different propositions across the world as well. And yeah, that's my thing now. So it's the streaming side of things.
You want to know what's wrong, what's right?
It's a sign of the time.
So that was off the K-Nite album.
Yeah, that's According to Plan.
According to Plan.
Yeah, that's
man.
one of the
great K-Nite album.
Favorite songs that I've ever recorded. That one. Man,
the show's, you know, this highlights the chemistry between you and my brother K-Nite, man. Some great songs you had done together.
Yeah,
great
that's
songs.
A brother, man. I'm another.
And obviously you did your second album. Let's talk about your second album.
Yeah, so you played Writer's Block earlier.
Yes.
Tommy Wilson. Shout out to Tommy Wilson, man. That's a very, very good dude. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, big up Tommy Wilson.
You know what I mean?
Nice
we over the last few years we've bucked up again and just been talking live, and he's a really good guy, man. Very talented, very skilled, and like, you know, professionally wise as well. Like, he's been doing lots of stuff. He's done so much behind the scenes, like music merchandising wise and all that type of stuff. Like, there's a few things I can tell you, but he's responsible for a lot of like good looks for like black artists. Done a couple of things for Labyrinth, etc. So
okay,
yeah, man. Big him up, try him out.
Love it.
Try and get his story on the show maybe one day. Let's see if I can get that hooked up.
Yeah, surely,
because I don't know him like that. You did very different concepts on this album, the second album of yours, which is one day close to everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whew, I keep mixing up the titles of the albums, man. You know, Writer's Block. What? You know, that was the last song we played. Why did you call that writer's block?
Yeah. Yo, I had writer's block, bro.
Yeah.
He gave me the beat.
And you write about it, didn't you?
Yeah, like he gave me the beat and I was like, oh, this beat is too fire. I need to do something with this. But at that time, I was being made redundant in my job. And that hadn't happened to me before. I know it's a common thing for some people. But I felt like I was quite young in my career. So at the time I was working in what we say TX, is broadcast transmission television.
Yeah.
So like, you know, everything that you see on your screen, making sure that the picture's still on there, all the technical stuff with the satellites, all that kind of stuff.
You're still in that industry now?
Nah, so I still work in television, but I'm on the OTT streaming side of things. So I work for all of the,
what does that mean?
Basically all of the apps that you watch content on, we call it over the top. So, you know, you don't have like something plugged in like a TV aerial. So like, for instance, like your Netflixes, Disney Pluses and stuff like that. Those are the, you know, I work for a company that owns a lot of different propositions across the world as well. And yeah, that's my thing now. So it's the streaming side of things. But yeah, so when I was made redundant, like I felt like I was young in my career, and I just there were certain things I was trying to do in life. I was trying to buy a house, etc. And it just like I just didn't really know how to handle it, and it just really impacted my year and my outlook and my mindset. So I felt like, I don't know, I wouldn't say depression, but it just, I hit a bit of a brick wall.
Was you with D at the time, at this time?
Yeah, I was with D. Yeah. So this is like 2014.
D is the woman that you end up getting married to.
Yeah, that's my wife. That's my wife.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's the love of my life. Yeah. So like I put out the summer suites, and then I'm being made redundant. So I thought, I figured it out. Okay, this is the next chapter for me. This is like what I want to present. This is like what I feel like I'm going to be proud with offering. And then I made redundant, and then also at the same time, I was getting the album mixed, and unfortunately, some issues happened at the studio, and all the files just got wiped out. Like not just for my project, but for a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously, you would not, you know, some of your stuff as well.
Yeah.
And
whoa, straight face.
Yeah. So that
you didn't want to say his name.
That
I will. He lost all of our work. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Don't skim over that.
No, he's a good guy. It's not about love. But
it's love. It's definitely love. But I know I handled that the wrong way. I know that I handled that the wrong way.
Because he didn't give us a refund.
I remember Skillit was like, do you know what? Nah, get back in the studio and use the time and do your... And I think for me, I was like... I built too much around it in my head.
No, it does impact.
What do I do? You know what I mean? So
it impacted Quarantine's second album. We were making a second album in that same studio that got all the files got missing.
I know that there were bare projects that I know about, and there was a whole bunch that I didn't know about. Like I just knew names and stuff. So for me, that impacted a hiatus for me, innit? Then I became to a point where I was like, do you know what? Now I need to just put this out, and I put it out. And I'll be honest, it wasn't even 100% mixed properly and things like that.
So you wasn't exactly happy with it.
Yeah, and then like the perfectionist in me kind of looked at that and said, nah, do you know what?
Can I say
can't
something?
do that to myself again. Like, I blame myself for that actually.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, if I
and
really...
So you're talking about this album, the one day...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you say there's one song that you should be proud of?
Guys. Ladies too. Listen.
And another one coming to a close. Difficult fresh breeze, each dressed in different clothes.
It's not you, it's me.
Case closed. Wish you were a little quicker to change hoes, huh? If you need, run and hide your eyes. When autumn falls, you know what's up. The ending went a nice surprise. Besides, how could you know? Following the night you see clear blue skies, filling you with new pride. Fed cooked breakfast with a good catch up, but now you're fed up. What to do? Your feelings went to small measure. Are you a man refuse to let her get you under the weather, or do you plummet? Can't stomach the pressure, huh? She moved clouds around town with a poker face, but now permanence of this joker's fate.
It's over.
You hear the echo, yo, it's over. It's time to let go, huh?
To have one, does he love you? Does she love you, no?
The glass is half empty, the flask is half full. Take the path gently, let the past pass you.
I love this song, man.
The glass is half empty, the
I always assumed this was supposed to be on the first album.
Yeah,
K-Nite again.
K-Nite gave this beat to me before I went to Japan.
Okay.
And then sometimes I get too like fixated on like my own logics and my own rules. So I said to myself, I didn't write it in Japan, so I'm not gonna put it on that album. But like this was like a really important song to me, so I just hold on to it and I put it out on the second joint. And also like when I recorded it, it was very much like a demo. It didn't really have a proper chorus and stuff, so I was like, nah, do you know what? I'm gonna take time and kind of have it come out in a way that I really want it to.
So this song is called To Love Nuts, featuring Coco.
Yeah.
Who's Coco?
Coco is a vocalist that K-Nite introduced me to.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big tune, man. Big tune. And was this personal? Was this close to home?
Yeah, it's very so
was this about your previous relationship before you got with D? Because I didn't like her! She didn't deserve you!
Wow.
Anyway, keep going.
Do you know what? Actually, this is...
So never make another Ryan.
A lot of this isn't really about her. It's about the girl before her, to be honest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what was her name again?
I'm not sure. I can't remember that anyway. So
it wasn't about that one.
It was a semi-autobiographical thing.
But you have to kiss a couple of frogs before you get your queen.
I'll say it again.
It's true, though.
It's true. It's the truth. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, you know,
your missus is hot.
Yeah, thank
she's
you.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
Is her surname Murray?
No.
What's her surname?
Noel. It's my surname.
Noel. No, I mean before she got married. Why am I asking you your wife's surname on air?
I don't know.
I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. Let's change the subject. What about this tune?
Like pretty.
I was just trying to say it. Her family's beautiful. That's what I was going to say.
I appreciate it.
I'll leave it as that.
I'll pass on.
For the stars, Aaron Jaunty.
I'm chilling with Kindle, my kinship with Mars.
This is another one I've heard for a minute. Jeez.
I'm grilling the stars think I'm willing to finish my tasks. When it's planets, I can't even get my ambitious past. The feeling if it lasts, and more importantly, what I envisioning to grasp. I'm rhyming hymns and psalms, clean my craft. The themes are like parks, but like late team park, themed up parks.
You know what?
What I love about this? Oh, sorry, you got. What was the question you were asking?
that's a good question.
Ask on air.
I was gonna say, do you ever play your music to your baby? Because you've got a little queen in the making.
I do. She is, man. She's really something special. Now that you've said that, I'm gonna consider it. The reason being, like, in terms of like content, I've always kind of felt like the vocab that you use can carry your message, the tonation and stuff. So you don't like. I don't think you've ever heard me use the N-word in my joints. I may have sworn once by accident, but like I try and actively don't do that. And not because I'm trying to be PC.
Yeah.
It's more so, it's just control. I do think, like for instance, first joint, Battle Axe. A lot of people came to me saying, knowing the person that I am, they're very surprised that they got a song like that from me. Yeah, I'm tearing brothers' heads off and da-da-da. I just feel like it's just a sword how you wield it, isn't it? Like, you know, you can drive a car and it can get you from A to B, or you can be reckless and drunk and you can crash into a van full of school kids, and that's the end of their life. It could turn into a weapon in the wrong hands. That's the way that I see this. It's like I have the opportunity to offer something unique that comes from me, and also something different. If I hear, oh, this is what's out there, and oh, this is what's missing, not that I'm like the savior or whatever, but it's just, how am I going to be like, ultimately I'm around you, man. I'm around Loudmouth, Pyro Bars, Mento, K-Nite13, Skillit. So why would anyone care about what I have to say? I better say something then, innit?
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. And Zora is what, 2?
Yeah, so Zora's 2. So the thing about Zora, like, she's super duper musical, you know. You know what she does? You know, like, rhythm and stuff, especially for us, like, I think as, like, black people, as, like, West Indians, as people who come from London.
Where you repping?
Grenada.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Dominica, where do you rep?
Dominica.
Okay.
And he says Trinidad, but Chris actually says they have Grenadians in there too.
Is it?
Yeah, they do. But most Trinis and Grenadians, because they used to travel between the islands for work.
Yeah, we are like foot and sandal or whatever they want to say. I was going to say patty and bench, but you know.
We're not yard.
Classes in session. I got my pen and ruler.
One thing I love about you,
date next to the margin underlined in red.
You show love to the Crown team.
Let's do this.
Shout out to Loudmouth Melvin.
It's Jaunty. I'm nice, I'm G5.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Listen,
I had to pull that up.
Yo, listen.
I had to pull that up. Shout out to Loudmouth.
Listen, before you play that again, I just want to quickly say a big shout out to Loudmouth, because you know what, especially when it comes to that first EP that I put out, the Once Again One Day, like, man was really out here doing long studio sessions. I remember I used to fly over the North Cirque and come see him and do like certain times, like 8-hour sessions with him, long sessions. And man had the patience, you know, the coaching, you know, like, like, I hear you, but why don't you maybe just try and maybe do that one again? Like, try to say it like this. Yeah. And so when you kind of have that finished product,
he done it with all of us, you know that.
Yo,
he was the studio engineer for all the quarantine music, all my albums, all that. It was him.
Yo, and an inspiration as well. Like, he's someone. He used to say to me, "Do you know what? Like, you know, I'd love to have like certain productions. I'd like to do TV shows. I'd like to like have things syndicated." And it's like,
was saying that before.
He was saying that in 2011. And to see someone, you know, when you see someone say something and then they go do it.
Man.
Shout out, man.
He's in the show next week. He's my guest next week.
Beautiful,
so you've got to
beautiful.
bring the team down though.
I know, that's what I want to do, but it might take away from the interview. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put a group interview invite out there. This was produced by Loudmouth Melvin. It's called the Loud School of Rhyming. That's what you called it. That's you're paying homage to Loudmouth.
Yeah, man. Come on.
It's a big tune.
Class is in session. I got my pen and ruler. The date next to the margin underlined in reds. Title, let's do this. It's Jaunty. I'm nice, amplified, tried and tested, but here I am, spitting with the Eaters fam. Update the fire, stay rewired. Trying to learn from the Loudmouth School of Rhyming. Enlightening how my ill street blue screwed with your timing. My lightning shot push release dates, New Year's down the block. Surround your life around the clock. I'm N power to the F power. A crowd of chowder. We're gonna show them how. Title, let's do this. It's Jaunty. I'm nice, amplified, tried and tested, but here I am, spitting with the Eaters fam. Update the fire, stay rewired. Trying to learn from the Loudmouth School of Rhyming. Enlightening how my ill street blue screwed with your timing. My lightning shot push release dates, New Year's down the block. Surround your life around the clock. I'm N power to the F power. A crowd of chowder, this brain food takes you where it gave you. It remains true if you refuse to name dudes. You'll never feel sorrow for the fruit that made juice. My Hindu flow, Jainism, if only hymns whom spoke before my foes hopped at my devil streak. Elephant in the room, call that prosperity, man. I lied, joy you could rhyme, call that telepathy, man. Yo, when the bell rings, get your pads and pens. This be the last school of rhyming for enlightening. Make sure your tie straight, we'll make your lines great. Your shirt's tied white, your lace to make the grade. Iron your clothes, polish shoes, we'll polish your flows. Misbehave, you get detention, trying to rubbish the codes. When break's over, we take over. Last school of rhyming, just take notes, bruh. Never we're gonna show them how to do this, just for the losers, it's Jaunty who is MC's future rooter. New kid on the block that likes the #1 spot. This decade's version of Chelsea's high top. Dudes from my past, praying that I might. Addicted like old ladies' tea, the white. Addicted like fiends, searching white. Addicted like honest vaccines to the white blood cell. People are nice, removing like from your similes. Who's the lie, remove the mic from your gimmicks, please. Insert gun blaming reference, gallus tactics in every sentence, and maybe you could spit 1,000,000 G's. Rappers reading too much Harry Potter, 5-year-olds believing magic exists. I'll damage the myth like what Daniel's missus. You just add an ample assist, just grab the man she with and take it back to the draw.
Yeah, we're moving up, no more going down. Only gets better from here, we're dreaming now. That's right, out of mind, out of sight, out of sound. Changing up the game, I'm a chameleon. Funny rappers looking like comedians now. Mean mugs with clean cuts, I ain't feeling proud. Peace and love, immediate child. Tour around the world and one day we be seeing pounds. We're gonna go hard, gonna go in. Fight for 10 rounds, bell sounds, we're rolling. Plus we're animals, sharks, orangutans, tigers, elephants. I think you know where I'm going with this. 5 years ago I could've dreamed of doing shows with chicks turning up and rapping every one of my lines. Got a fan base, I gotta show him. Shine like pan glaze and we're glowing.
We're gonna spit, sick, make another hit. Something that you love when you play it on the disc. We're gonna show them how to do this. We're gonna show them how to do this. We're gonna spit, sick, make another hit. Something that you love when you play it on the disc. We're gonna show them how to do this. We're gonna show them how to do this.
Standard Ainge, collect luggage at the baggage claim. Travel the world, cause terror.
So now we same, we rhyme the same, you're all the same. We ride in a different lane, you die, we'll forgive the rain.
Spit on your grain, let's behave, really face people who really fake. Got to keep your feet on the ground before you really break.
Man is born free, but everywhere in chains. Reap your liberties, karma stays in your way.
I stayed at your place, and we hold strength. Boys to grown men, trust the transition was great.
My living's an 8, rap 10s like Skillit all day. Beat smash
my dick in her face. We pick up the pace. Speed demons while we leave trials, while we stay scheming. Got your girl on speed dial.
You love her, you turned your back, and meanwhile she foul. Bringing your condoms for she foul.
Yeah, that's memories, man. Yo. A little back to back. We should
doing our Ray and Go Styles and Jada. It was just fun, innit? Like that. Ultimately, this again, it's another example of us just like not overthinking nothing. Let's go and make a tune. The beat's dope. Like let's just flick some. And we were literally writing back to back. So I was like, oh, what's Skillit gonna say next? Okay, let me say something to make him want to say something dope after that. He said something crazy. I gotta do. You know what I mean? So it's just complimentary. That was synergy.
So that last song I played was Show Them featuring. It was myself, Ryan Skillit, featuring my guest Jaunty, and it was off the Dirty Laundry album. And there was another tune produced by K-Nite. Just the chemistry's all.
Is that the one that we did in Yo-Yos? You did a show in Yo-Yos.
I did a show in Yo-Yos.
I think that might have been the one.
Did that.
I think it wasn't that. It was another one, but
I don't think it was.
I remember the show.
I don't think it was self-hate.
Nah, it wasn't self-hate.
It was this then.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah, good time, man. You brought me out. Thank you.
Come on, man. Yo-Yos. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the spot for a minute.
All right, I want to play a game with you guys. It's going to be a fun now.
Perfect.
I do games on Skillit Show each and every week, and some of them doesn't pan out how I want them to. And I feel like today will be the same.
Nah, man, you're the games master, bro. If people need to know, you are the games master, like literally on a Friday night, every few months or whatever. Yeah, man.
I'm going to do another one this year.
He's like, what did Daniel call him last week? Like the encyclopedia of like
I don't understand how you not only maintain the knowledge, but like you recall it like it's nothing. Like any song that plays, every, like me, I might know songs, I've heard it 100 times, but every single word. You will always say every single word. I just don't understand how you contain so much, bro. I don't
even try and keep up.
I'm blessed with the elephant memory when it comes to things that I care about. When it things about I should know, I don't know a damn thing. So this next game, I'm gonna put in the because I always do little theme songs for each game that I have, and this one called "Ugly Inside or Out."
I don't know how to react. Not on the outside, on the inside, on the outside.
So this is called.
No, I love you so much, bro.
This is called ugly. This is not on the inside, but on the outside. But not on the outside, but on the inside. But on the outside, you put it lovely. That's the name of this game. So basically, for those who have no idea what's happening right now, the concept.
Explain it to me.
We gotta explain it because, like.
Should we play the title sequence one more time?
For a bunch as well, man. You don't even know
this next game I'm about to play with Aaron Jaunty is the first ever at Skillit World, and it's called. The truth is that you're ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, you front and you lovely.
Never be clearer. The truth is that you're ugly. Not on the outside, but in the inside. On the outside, you front and you lovely.
So basically, the rules of the game.
I've never seen him laugh like this.
The rules of the game. The rules of the game is.
You're Canadian.
You both have 30 seconds each. This is the rules of the game.
Oh, not rum. Dominican water.
It's Dominican water. Dominican water. By Dominican M's. Yeah. So the rules of the game is that you have 30 seconds each. I'm going to get your phones out because I'm going to WhatsApp you a name each. And
there's a lot of pressure.
Each person of the name I put is ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, they're front and they're lovely. And And what happens is you have to describe this person to your teammate, which is going to be Dominican M's.
But this is not a good game.
But you can't say.
I've already muffed it.
You can't say their name. You can't say their name. You have to describe them. But you have 30 seconds to get it right. Okay, so I'm gonna
have a bit of this before you start.
Sure.
I'm really not good at these type of games. My wife will tell you that I take too many words to describe things. So
okay,
as you can see with the interview, you probably didn't even get to say what you wanted to say because I was just talking too much.
Well, Jaunty,
I'm not going to say nothing, but I'll say it for you.
I've known you since 2004. This hasn't changed. All right, so I'm gonna text Dominican M's first. Okay.
Don't look at my phone.
Okay.
Then people from
how am I gonna get it then?
Right, so I'm going to text it first. Don't say nothing. You look at the name. Look at the name. Okay. Now I'm going to set a timer. It's going to be 30 seconds.
Okay, and tell me before you do it again. Just tell me the premise of the game again.
So you have to describe this person without using their name. So you can say anything, but as long as you don't say their name.
If it's like an actor, you can mention bare films.
Yeah, exactly. Been in this, been in that, been involved in this, been involved in that, and all that stuff.
I need to know why this means that they're frightened, they're lovely on the house.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me set timer. This is great content.
No, it actually is. Tell me when I'm starting.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start, but before I start, let's have that title sequence one more time. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, you're front and you're lovely. Okay, so all
right, that's actually a good one though. I've got a thing.
We've got 30 seconds. Let's go.
So the first thing I think of this person is they are a media personality.
Okay.
British.
Yeah.
Caucasian.
Okay, more.
They have
15 seconds.
They have views that would be seen as either racist or far right.
Oh, my girl. Whose daughter's name India, and she was cussing people who use them.
And she had,
what's her name?
She was.
I deleted her name from my head, so I'll never get this.
She was
but I know who it is.
In the bush.
Yeah,
but you know what, Aaron? I'm actually going to give you that because you described
oh, nice.
And you got the person's name right. It is Katie Hopkins.
It was well-known racist, Katie Hopkins.
I've forgotten her name again now.
Racist Katie Hopkins. And the thing
interesting
is about...
first. I said, okay.
On the inside, on the outside, you're fighting your lovely.
Right, okay.
The thing is that she's ugly.
I'm with you.
Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, you're fighting she's lovely.
Right, I got it. Right.
So, Aaron, your turn.
Okay.
I'm going to message you.
I like this game.
It's a good game, isn't it?
This is I
thought of it on the way here.
It's actually really good.
Thank you. I had to do it for my brother Aaron because we have this in joke. Me and Aaron have the best jokes together, man. So, Jaunty, this name is for you. Let's see if you can
Tupac.
Describe this person to...
Nah, I don't know who this person is.
Oh, you don't?
Tyson
Beckford.
Okay,
pass.
All right, let me change that. All right, how about this one?
Tupac Shakur.
No, but they gotta be ugly on the inside.
He's not ugly on the inside.
Oh yes, I'm missing the whole premise of the game.
And you love Tupac.
No, I love Tupac.
All right. Okay, Aaron, let me set timer. And can we
don't muff this up.
One more time.
The truth is that you're ugly.
Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, you're fighting you lovely. All right. Okay. Your turn starts now.
Okay. Female Conservative MP.
Priti Patel.
Okay. Come on.
And do you know why Dominican M's got that? Because the truth is that she's ugly.
The truth is that you're ugly.
Not on the outside, but on the inside. But on the outside, she's fighting she lovely.
And she's shaped like a yam.
Okay.
Certain man like that, their shape. So that was going to be my next clue. Particular person wanted to retweet that.
The one that's gone off though in the market, not a nice.
Oh, I see. Right. It's like
It's spoiled.
It's 10 for £1. Those ones. And still no one wants to buy them anyway.
In that bowl.
This is your. This is your.
Okay, let me look.
This is yours. Now, this doesn't apply to all of them, but some of them are ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, they're fighting they lovely.
Okay.
All right. Your timer begins now.
If you don't own your property,
Yeah, you rent.
Yes.
Maybe.
Then who'd you give your money to?
The landlords, the gigs.
On the outside, you frontin' you lovely.
What?
It is what it is.
Shout out to my landlord.
What do you mean?
Shout out to my landlord.
What are you trying to say about him?
Shout out to my landlord.
You trying to say I'm ugly at the inside, blood.
Shout out to my landlord. Shout out to my landlord, but the truth is that he's ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside.
Hey, look, what are you trying to say about man's inside, though?
Alright, Johns. What's this one?
Okay.
And your timer starts now.
Used to be on Good Morning Britain. Obsession with Meghan Markle. Okay.
Obsession. That man is not wedding his head.
Truth is that he's very ugly. Not also in the inside, but also on the outside. Because on the outside, he lovely.
This game doesn't apply to him.
Because he's ugly.
Because he's ugly. Both.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do one more.
But before we go, wasn't it because even though he's married, he was trying to play hide the sausage and she wasn't on it?
I think so. Well, that's the timer. Sorry. I think so. I think he was really into her. And
and she was like, I don't
he bought her a drink at a bar when
it's entitlement,
walked
right?
her to the car and then she was like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, it's this thing of like living in a man's world. And you might want to say a white man's world if we're being particular.
She is brown. She's a mixed race black woman.
And yeah, the feeling of, oh well, you know, because I say so, you ought to be interested in me. I'm a powerful person and rare. Do you know what I mean?
He is, and he continues to be powerful. But even at the top of at that time, super powerful, isn't it? Because he would have controlled their career.
Yeah.
All right.
Last one.
Yes.
So what's the score? I feel like you've gotten all yours, and I think you've gotten all yours as well.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, you did.
We're by winning.
You just didn't say Kate Hopkins' name, but yeah.
Okay, but you gave me the point. You gave me a half point, and
I find that was performative. I think I'm winning.
I think Dominic Nims is winning officially.
Yes.
Well,
and the truth is,
let's do one more, and then we'll see. Because
we'll do a time. If you get this one,
don't get competitive now, babe.
Let's see if you get this one.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Timer starts now.
Famed Victorian murderer of ladies of the night.
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah. You know, you guys are getting it all right because the truth is that they're ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside and the outside, they're lovely.
I don't even know how I got that. I
felt like these answers are too easy. Let's do one more.
I feel like we need to give him one.
Let's do one more.
Can we give him one?
I think we should, yeah.
Should we just do it? Let's think of one between us. All right.
I don't know. Like, who is he? Not gonna know.
Oh, but he knows everything. This is good content as
well. Let's just do it and see what happens.
You do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
You gonna time me? Time me, King.
Okay, cool.
You timing me?
Oh, no, I'm not timing you. I don't know how to do this without being obvious. Okay.
Maybe we need one that's not so obvious. I've got one that's not so... Oh, actually, no, that's not appropriate for his show. I'll leave it.
Let's just quickly do it because on the inside he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate.
I hate him.
No, okay.
It's awful.
Timer starts now. His mind was telling him no.
R. Kelly's. And yes, R. Kelly is definitely. The truth is that he's ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, he's fronting his lovely.
That's perfect.
Well, thank you. That was
and topical as well. He got more charges.
Yes, he just got more charges. He's going down for jail forever.
Good.
And I guess that was the game. That was ugly inside, but outside, in front of you lovely.
That's a fantastic game.
So I'm thinking more games now because I'm only going to play that with you.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Have we pedestaled ourselves?
How do you mean?
In judging others, do you reckon? I just want to make sure morally we are.
No, but I made sure. I made sure.
I'm not a nonce.
That's true.
I made sure we didn't talk about looks. We talked about character.
I unnecessarily
about.
mentioned Priti Patel look like he am, but I'm sure.
I mean, who cares? But all I'm saying is, I'm just saying, I made sure that I'm talking about character.
You did.
I find the character ugly.
You did.
Because the truth is that they're ugly. Not on the outside, but on the inside. On the outside, they're fronting, they're lovely.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay. This is your song with ST. It never came out.
Shout out ST, man.
But how come I've got it?
How come you have it? Because I need a copy. Give that to me, please.
Street light flicker on the still streets, carped up.
Shout out to ST, man.
Yard two.
He messaged me the other day, telling me he was going to Trinidad and Tobago.
Must be nice.
And he Trini?
Nah.
Where are you from?
I think he's.
I'm not sure where he's from. I'm not sure.
He might be Caribbean, actually. I don't know. But anyway, he wanted some tips about where to go. I told him where not to go. To say good luck. Shout out to my brother ST. I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to Off Key as well. I miss those guys, man. I hope they're good. Hope they're doing well. Hope everything's right mentally and physically. Hope you guys are thriving.
Missed it, I switched it. Damn, it was a memory. Realized that.
Jaunty, are you still going to be making new music?
Told me, yo,
what's going on with new music, brother?
He was counting them bottles, now he's counting them clothes. He overloaded on it had.
Let's talk about your family as well.
It's about to blow because the music was cold. Toured on the road solo, sold the blow. He did smoke and watched his cell sail away.
Dominican water. Exclusive.
Oh my God.
Jaunty gave me a USB. Jesus. I want to hear Aaron's verse first before I do this.
Street light, a chill with music as usual. Everyday ride, like Maze and Beverly with Heavenly. Mary J. Blige, that's when she walked by with him. And Mary J. Five was thinking about the Stitch and Brown.
I love your flows, bro.
Vintage, like a fan.
Your flows are so original.
Coke bottle figure, it figures. Favorite flavor of mine. Before I thought about her face in the smile.
Yeah, he's smooth. He's Boyz II Men.
The very same night.
Ask him. I've said that to him all. He's Boyz II Men. All 4 members in one body.
This is how they make sure. But she responded.
100.
Get out my face with them rhymes. Another guy just used to.
You know what he's like?
Wasting my time. Go find another lady.
Which one's Casey? Which one's JoJo?
It's when her eyes wider than she pays to my right.
JoJo's the slimmer one, isn't he?
Yeah. She's caressing this guy.
No, Casey's the slimmer one. Yeah. JoJo's the bigger one.
Yeah.
You're JoJo's second verse and freaking you. The best verse. The best verse.
I'll take that.
All second verse.
I'll take that.
All second verse.
I appreciate that. To be honest, I'll say this, right? Especially like we talked about like the garage days and stuff. Even though I felt like I was more boisterous then. I just spent so much time trying to like, I feel, find my voice, like literally like the tone of my voice, like how it would sound and stuff. And I always, that kind of baritone of like a Barry White, like is it Michael from Boyz II Men?
Yeah.
The one who left? Like that type of tone I always felt like in terms of MCs just seems to cut through differently. Like especially in an era where people like shouting and like, you know, the hypeness, it just kind of is very similar, but like, you know, the gurus and the very distinctive about them, do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's the bass that offers that. So for me, like when I think about like how I want to sound, obviously it's just my voice, isn't it? But I do typically try and do more the speaking, more the lower tone, because I just feel like
awesome.
That's you know what I mean? That's
I've never heard
what
anybody actually say it, but now you've said it, people must do that, because you've got a whole, what's the kind of thing now where you've got kind of like that squeakier, like, you know, like that they always say the mumble rappers, but they have like a squeakier, high pitched tone though, don't they? A lot of the rappers.
I think so. I know like
the commercial ones, not saying all rap, but the commercial ones.
I know like American accents generally sit higher as a vocal register anyway, but I'm sure a lot of this is mathematics. I'm sure a lot of people, they've worked this out and they try and work out, all right, for this decade, what is the thing that's going to cut through most, or what is going to be the most palatable thing? Do you know what I mean?
Jaunty, where do I find your new song on here? On this USB you just giving me?
It's, so this one, it will be the newest one. It's on the root folder, the first one, and it's called Grand Opening.
Oh.
Grand Opening, Behold. So what I wanted to do with this, right? So, you know, talked about the hiatus and the lost files and stuff like that. And it's been a while, but like just every day I just kind of have this thing of like, I've really got something in me to get out. And like I've got like a few ideas of like a few different like projects and stuff I want to do. So like, what I want to do first. That's the one.
Oh, it's the K-Nite beat.
Yeah.
Of the Nightfall.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So wait,
It's Jaunty.
you're just experimenting.
I just man, we're playing. K-Nite's giving me a whole bunch of new beats. But before I do that, I wanna just play around with some of these things that I've been listening to for a minute. I'm gonna stop talking now.
I like it. Don't overthink it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Try not to.
Build myself
I have
up.
upright ears. I like it.
Fulfill. I love you.
Ooh. I think I'm
Listen.
I think people need closure, and if you do not have it, you experience a disconnect.
So this will be like the intro. Okay. Let's go a bit forward. I love it. I'm loving what I'm hearing so far.
I'm ready with a better rhymes that produce the vibes. We poison tip the badness to survive.
Okay, hold on.
I think you need to go back. That was
Man's rapping over one of my favorite K-Nite beats. This beat is crazy.
This beat is so nuts, man.
K-Nite13 on the mic. I'm ready with a better rhymes that produce the vibes. We poison tip the badness to survive. Arson to light. Harden the crime, we harden the rhymes.
Have you shown him this?
The best alive. Many tried we be the stripes nest and hive. Many died in the game, I like in Christ. I drove to wine, I know you like. Humble to the game, I'm most surprised. Manifestations, I know to rise. Entendre ascend.
Okay, we're not gonna give away too much because it's it's exclusive.
Behold, it's your hope's greatest. One.
Which one's this one? It's K-Nite as well.
It's the same beat.
Oh yeah.
It's your hope's greatest. One more for your dope playlist.
Yeah.
I think you should do it, bro. Talk to him.
I'm doing it. I've already asked him. He said go.
Okay, good.
He just said go, so I said, all right, that's a green light then.
Yeah. I don't need to be a criminal. A young G don't need to turn illegal. Yes, I'm a black man. I spell the magic, man.
Yeah. See, so this, I've talked about garage a few times today, right? Because I feel like lyrically it gets a bad rap. I think there's something. Why? I just think that it was just a very competitive time. I think, UK...
But there's some classics, some great stuff came from
some
grime,
amazing... and you know what? There were some amazing MCs that came from it as well. Like there's always like the, oh yeah, but Fallacy's cool, he's an exception, or, you know what I mean? There's that type of vibe. And I think, for me, it's really responsible for a lot of the different ideas that I have when it comes to like writing. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to like formulating, especially flows, especially patterns. And I've always like majored in mathematics. So in my mind, I always think about like different ways to like different solutions to a problem in a sense, right? There's a few, like 2 + 2 is 4 and 2 × 2 is 4. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, so I could say the line like this, but there's a few other ways I can say it. Like, can I, you know what I mean? And I feel like garage was just like, for me, a very fun time of experimenting with pattern and flow and speed and things like that. So like when I heard
innovative,
like K-Nite dropped this and immediately I was just like, yeah, that's the type of flow that I'll be wicked on this. And I thought, when I had this idea to do this, I thought, you know what, I've got like tapes and tapes that would just be gathering dust. I grabbed a couple of tapes and I was like, raw, like I did quite a lot in those days that no one would ever hear.
You did, bruv.
Apart from the people who was around at the time, whoever was listening on the radio at the time or whatever. And like, let me pull it out, because this is a part of me. This is like part of my heritage of like musical upbringing as anything else.
Man, you just mentioned grime. I mentioned the days when you and I used to go dirty canvas and listen to songs like this.
Immediately pull that up, please.
Would Lily have gone with you as well, my Lee?
Leo would have come. Yeah, Leo, you met Leo a few times.
Yeah. We probably got a picture together.
Shout out to Badness.
Yeah. Wow.
Remember when we were cooking in the kitchen?
This one means so much to us.
Do you remember we were cooking in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Okay, them. Big tunes to pull up them. Big pull up them. Okay, them. Y'all wanna pull up them. Send them come and pull up them. Set you up from east them. Want to be east friend them. Take me to the west them. I listen to say about them. Man, she about them. Oh, enough for me. Bad enough for me. And then it's too bad enough. Never bad enough for me. And then it's terrible enough. Never bad enough for me. And then mama them not enough for me. Enough for me. Either. Children from India. Either. Get your head back up. Now your kneecap. When me lick. Then. Big tunes to pull up. Then. Make me pull up. Then.
Wow. Boom, my. And this this one's called The Last Fist Up in Your Face.
The cheek of it.
Mate.
The cheek of it.
The heart of it.
The heart of it. The cheek of it. You there to challenge me? My long tongue pie chumping, now you belong to me. Wow, are you there? My style is not superior to yours. I must have many techniques, so to kill you is really against my laws. So walk away straight away before I'm forced to watch you die. Time like pie, there's no chance in defeating I. And I'm warning you. Strike one, strike two. You wanna try and fight me with that kung fu? It'll be the death of you. Boom, I consent to. Still standing around, okay, now I'm steaming like an iron. Watch this then, I call this style
Unforgettable I am.
It's a style only known by myself, the devil man. And no one has ever survived the full contact known to man. Some sex and moon, time I pull out, I won't.
Can't say that on radio.
Sex and moon, time I pull out, I won't.
Can't say that on radio.
Sex and moon, time I pull out, I won't.
Can't say that on radio.
Sex and moon, time I pull out, I won't.
We won't say it on radio.
Bitch, I'll hit you to show. Look at me when I'm walking to you.
DE development, badness. That was our soundtrack, bro.
That's what I mean, man. It's unique. It's different. It's still lyrical. It's fun. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's powerful, though. Do you see how we all reacted when we heard that?
Exactly. It's a part of nostalgia.
And there's different things we were saying. Like I was saying, you could hear the different genres that made something new, but that's part of our. We're all Caribbean heritage, right? Black, British, Caribbean. You call yourself Black British, right? He's born in Trinidad.
Well, I'm Black.
Yeah, well,
British Caribbean. I guess.
In terms of like nationality, you have a UK passport, right?
I do,
so it gets obviously.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Sorry,
I just got a new job. You guys are not going to cost me that one.
But listen. The other thing that I want to say about this as well. Look at it full circle. You see, Skillit. When we first heard that tune, we were just like enjoying music. Yes. And then what? Aftershock.
Big up
Aftershock.
Big up
Loudmouth. And then, do you know what I mean? So,
and big up Danny Weed.
No pulse. No pulse.
Fire!
Boy! Big up Danny Weed, man. Classics.
This is landscape changing
100
arrangements, bro.
Classics, man. Man, these are good times, man.
Yeah.
Pick up the Dirty Canvas crew.
This is really doing things that weren't there before. They were then after this, and now it's hard to, you got to now remember what it was like before. These are real pioneers, you know what I'm saying? Real people who have opened the door where now things that are possible today, they weren't then for these people. They already did it for the first time.
And did they have people that were in like A&R and in like, all those back kind of roles as well? They didn't, did they? They had to make their way.
Yeah, to be honest, now like it's common for someone to have like their own team and it's all their brethren doing everything. But like in those days, really, it was rare for... It was like raw. Oh, you want to sign a grime artist? You want to sign a garage artist? Like, oh, what for a single? All right, then. Do you know what I mean? And now it's like people can now just put out their own tapes and do it themselves.
TikTok is a big one. One, man. Jaunty, thank you so much for joining me today.
I loved it.
It's been my honor, man.
It's been honestly, a real fun episode.
A lot of people have been in this seat that I'm like, yo, I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
Well, I said I only deal with legends. I only deal with legends on my show. You're a legend, man. I have to give you your flowers, man. I love your music.
Shout out to you, man.
I love your creativity. You're my brother from another mother, but it's more than that. I just love you. I'm a fan.
He's a blessed person. Like,
he's a lovely person. No one has a bad thing to say about this guy.
You have like good energy, and you can feel that around the people. Like, you give that energy to the people around you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When I think of you, I think of like positivity. Kind of. Man. I'm not saying you're perfect because you could be a bellend at home, but I don't know. But you're just a really
it's possible.
No,
I could be, frightened on the outside.
But the inside,
you're a nice person.
You're ugly.
No, but listen, that's also another reason why we're all in this room as well, because meeting Ryan for the first time was just like big, strong hugs. It was like laughter. It's like, these are the things that I think of,
like a brotherhood.
Yeah, like even if we'd only known each other 5 minutes, like
obviously now we've got the knowledge and the history, but it's the same guy. It's the same guy that I met in 2004. You know
I will never change. You gotta love me and you don't.
Same here.
Aaron Jaunty,
we
went for your discovery today. I love it. I want to hear more. I want to hear new stuff. I'm loving the stuff that you're doing on K-Nite's Nightfall stuff. I'm excited to hear what you got next. Please continue making music. I know family's first. I know money's first, and I get all of that. But never stop being a creative. I just landed an office job. I don't know if I'm going to be there for long, but I will never stop being a creative.
Yeah, come on, man. You got to celebrate. You got to take time to celebrate.
I will never stop being a creative.
That's one thing that Neville said to me, our boy. He said, you must
big
take
up
time
Neville,
to
man.
celebrate.
Big up Terry. Big up Jason.
Yeah, man. When we get to these, when we evolve and we get to
severed the relationship with Van for me.
What happened?
Nothing, don't worry about that. I was being silly. Trying to keep a straight face. Where can people find you on the socials, and where can people find you so they can listen to the music that I played today? Where can they find the music?
It's Aaron Jaunty everything. So that's the Twitter. I don't know, the Bandcamp, the Spotify, the iTunes, Facebook. I don't really use Facebook now, but if you do, then I'll catch your message in a couple months.
And Ryan, you can add his socials under your social media.
The social media will be added onto the description
I'll give you a whole list
of this YouTube channel episode. Aaron Jaunty everything. Dominic and Ems, where can people find you if they want to follow you today?
So if you're not a weirdo or a pervert, you can find me on Dominican_Ems, EMZ. Also, can I get my cheeky plug out?
Of course, please.
Saturday the 5th of November, we've got Dominican Independent at Low Profile Studios. We've got Edai, the artist Edai, live from Guadeloupe. He's actually a Dominican artist, so yeah.
Top of the world.
Awesome. I'm glad that you did that. And also, we're always gonna promote Dominican water.
I know, but also Sovereign Pro
Wrestling, the 1st of October.
Oh yes.
At Manchester, the Trinity Sports Centre. I am throwing my wrestling show with my team, with Shotty Horror, FaZe Watt, Louis Essien.
Gonna be there.
Wait. Gigi, Zubi.
Are you coming?
Elliot, more.
I might need to get a ticket and calm down to that.
Come get your ticket, calm down. Come to Sovereign Pro Wrestling at the Trinity Sports Centre in Manchester. It's going to be a hoot. We're going to bring back wrestling. We're bringing back the British sound of wrestling. I'm going to bringing it back.
Proud of you, Ryan.
Thank you. I'm trying. But I was stressing out the other day.
You're doing
it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
This is a big thing.
Thank you very much.
Sovereign Pro Wrestling, the first one is the 1st of October in Manchester, 8 o'clock. There's some tickets that are still available.
So
if they want tickets, they go on your website.
www.sovereignprowrestling.com.
Love it. I've got tickets, will be there. I can't wait. And some of the people that you've got on the lineup as well.
Some very talented UK wrestlers and some Canadian, some American, and these guys are the future of the business. They're going to do big things. So you will see them first on our show. Well, not at first on our show because they do other shows, but you know what I mean.
I'm excited.
Come to our show, you can see the first time in the show. And this song is called Shine by Aaron Jaunty. It's off the album One Day, Once Again. We went through that album together. We went through Discovery today. Aaron, thank you so much for joining me. It's such a great episode. One of my favorite episodes.
Thank you for having me. Wow.
And I love you both. Guys, please.
Family.
And I might as well end the song with Pharaoh Munch, the truth.
Is this a private joke?
This has been Skillit World. Thank you for listening.